training, but we're going to do some breath work in here, which is also relevant for stress in day-to-day life. So we're going to come down lying. So if you've got your cushion, or you can use your blanket, I prefer the cushion to elevate the knees a little bit more. So you're just going to come lying down with your knees supported. So the yoga we do is all about kind of staying in the pose for longer than a dynamic version of the exercise, because we're dynamic enough with our running or a triathlon or whatever else we do. So just coming into this position, legs supported, which is more restful for the back, and then making sure your palms are facing up. If you just have a little play with your palms down and then palms up, you'll feel the difference through the openness through your chest. On that next inhale, just want you to stretch away with your arms as far as you can, and then try and pin your shoulders to the mat behind you, which will make you arch your back, and then just relax, just to help open up that chest a little bit more. Now, all the breath should be through the nose, which is counterintuitive for some people. So we're just going to start by breathing in for a count of 3 through the nose, and then exhaling out through the nose for 3. You want to try and keep the jaw and the mouth relaxed, which you can do by just putting the tip of your tongue behind your teeth or on the roof of your mouth. And then as you exhale, try and make sure you're not squeezing your bottom or squeezing your shoulders, which tends to happen on an inhale and exhale when you're not used to it. So the lower part of our lungs houses more parasympathetic nerve receptors. So the deeper you inhale, the better your recovery at dealing with stress. So now I want you to see if you can keep that breath going for a count of 4 in, retain the breath for 2, and exhale for 4. So the difference between retention and holding the breath. Retention, just gently retain the breath and then exhale it out. We're just going to do 2 more breaths of that here. Final one. And then just roll the bolster or your foam roller away or remove the cushion. And now keeping your legs bent, you just take your feet so you can feel the edges of the mat with your feet. So your feet are quite wide, your knees are quite wide. Keeping the breath that we had going before. You're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale slowly for 3, 2, 1 to the right. Inhale again, back to center. Moving with breath, exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right, and this time you're just going to allow your knees to stay where they are. Don't push, don't try and force your knees to the floor. All you're going to do is let gravity help to draw those legs down. So you can see here my knees are quite high off the floor, so that you're not expected for them to reach the floor. You might if you're hyper flexible. And then you're going to inhale that left arm up alongside your ear, and then allow the right arm to come out, palm facing up. So inhaling deeply, and exhale. So whilst you're in this position, you can have a little play to see the difference that breath makes. If you do a shallow breath and then do a deep breath, you should feel that difference in your hip and your psoas in terms of that release. We've got 3 more breaths in this position. Last 2. And 1. Then just before you move fully out, you're just going to now take that right foot and prop it onto the top of your left thigh on the side. Just going to do 3 more breaths here, so it will change the stretch, make it much more intense through your glute or maybe your lower back. 2 more breaths. Breathe in, open up that rib cage. Last one. And draw that left arm back down. Take the right foot off your thigh. You can use your right arm to help push your knees back up to center. And then we're just going to go over to the other side. Just scan down your body first, because it tends to take you off from an angle. Make sure your hips are central on that mat. And inhale. And then exhale. Moving with the breath over to the other side. And then inhale that right arm up by your ear. So you can see here on this side now how much of that stretch comes into your lower back, your glute, and also that TFL here. That TFL is a band that runs into the ITB. So the good stretch. We're releasing off that area. So a lot of these poses, the longer you stay in them, the more you sometimes feel your body release a little bit more, and that perhaps you're holding onto tension more than you realise. So your body sometimes needs a little bit of a chance to let go. 3 more breaths in this position. And the final one. Then taking that left foot, popping it onto that right thigh, 3 more breaths. Again, the deeper you can breathe in, the more you'll feel it, that fascial line down here releasing. Final one. Drawing that right arm back down by your side. Separate the legs. Using your left hand maybe to draw the knees back up to centre. And then just allow your knees to fall in into the centre. So your feet are still either side of the mat. Knees fall into the centre just to help release off that back. We were externally rotated, now we're internally rotating through the hips. And then heel toe, knees back together, and we're going to come over onto our side. This is where you need the cushion or the towel or blanket can also work. So what you're going to do, you're going to line up so that your trunk is parallel with the side of the mat. Then you're going to take your towel or cushion or blanket, put it between your knees, and then draw the knees up so that they're at right angles with the line of the mat and your body. And making sure your knees are together. So that's really important to keep those knees together, which is why we've got this blanket here. It's just allow us to gently press to keep those knees in alignment with each other. So bringing your hands one on top of each other. You're going to inhale. As you inhale, you're going to start to draw that hand across your arm. Exhale. Spiral your hand, making sure you've got enough room the other side. Spiral your hand behind you. So making sure those knees are staying together. Inhale. Draw that hand back along your chest. Exhale. Palms touch. Inhale, draw it across. Exhale, reach. Inhale back. So just giving this a spinal twist and a chest opener. So that chest gets really tight. Inhale. From either sitting on a bike or running long miles. It's keeping those knees together, which gives us that stretch through the spine. Otherwise, your knees, the top knee tends to come over with you and you don't get that twist, that spinal twist. 2 more. Inhale back, exhale. Last one, inhale, draw the hand along the arm. You get your shoulder, start twisting on the exhale. Inhale back, then exhale. Hands together. And then we're just going to do that same thing on the other side. You can just turn over. I'm just making sure I don't have my back to the camera. So make sure you've got that space behind you and make sure you set up correctly. So knees are together, they're at right angles to the line of your mat, which matches your trunk, where your trunk is. So again, arms together, palms together. Inhale like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Exhale, twist. Inhale, draw that arm back. And exhale, hands together. Inhale. You might get a couple of clicks through your back. The more we run or train, and also the older we get, when we're going to be losing that spinal flexibility, that ability to twist. So we really want to make sure you get that full spinal flexibility. Inhale back to shoulder. Exhale. Hands together. Last one on this side. Inhale. Shoulder. Exhale. Hands together. It's a good one to do in the morning, that one as well. Okay, coming over, you're going to take your blanket or your towel and keep it so that it's about the width of your mat in terms of so it will reach right across the width of your mat, and then roll it up into a sausage shape. So the thicker that sausage shape, the more chest opener you're going to get. So the chest, we get really restricted if you're working, but also running, turbo, bike. So occupational and training wise, you're now going to take it across the width of your mat and then line it up with the bottom of your bra strap. So that's where you're going to position. Then bringing your soles of your feet together, so butterflying with your legs, and then just drop back, taking the arms out, palms facing up. So you're just getting thoracic extension. So it's rib cage, which is normally all closed up, chest all open. Just tip your chin. This is naturally going to make you have your chin up here, but if you just lengthen through the back of the neck by tipping that chin. And then just allowing your knees to fall wherever they fall. You're not trying to push them down, force them down. Just working with gravity, feeling that opens through the chest. So don't forget the breath. The breath work opens up that rib cage, lungs, muscles, which are all postural as well. And exhale completely. So the deeper you can breathe in, filling up the lower part of your lungs, the better. The lower part is where we house more parasympathetic nerve receptors, which is our stress release area, our recovery area. So 5 more breaths here. Four more. Three more. Last 2. and 1. Inhale, drawing the knees together. Exhale, just roll over to one side to come off that blanket. And then you just lie down, legs out. Take your breath to feel the difference maybe through your hips and your chest. From that openness through that chest opener. Now again, you may not need this, some of you, but if you've got tight hips, tight back, you probably will. And you use a block, I've got a block, but you can use a cushion, you can use the blanket. Just pop that here underneath your head. Then you're going to cross left leg over your right. There's no gap between the back of my left thigh and the front of my right. Reaching up, you're going to take the sides of your shins or your ankles, so your legs now look like a crossed shoelace. And then with every exhalation, you're going to pull those legs in, but also apart. So imagine these bits, the shoelaces that you're pulling that way. Tipping the chin. Trying to relax the shoulders away. So you should feel that in that glute of your top leg. On that next exhalation, bring the feet down to the mat, unraveling your legs. I'm just going to switch over to the other side. So inhale that right leg up and over. Again, make sure there's no gap. Then inhale, reaching for the legs, exhaling down. So you're going to have a difference between right and left normally. So on this side, I can't bring my left leg out as much, but I can still feel exactly the same sensation. So again, tipping the chin. Inhale and exhale. The last 3 breaths here. Last one. Again, allowing the feet to come to the floor. Move your bolster or cushion unwrap on the legs. Make sure there's nothing around your feet. You're going to inhale, take those arms up overhead, pointing your toes, and then just walk both arms and feet over to the right hand side. But you're not crossing your arms over your head. So keeping your arm, then relax into that position. So it's just giving you a gentle side bend stretch, creating a banana shape crescent moon, however flexible you are through this side of the body. But don't allow, in order to stretch that, don't allow yourself to roll off. Both hips, sitting bones remain on the floor. So after a big long training weekend or a race, then this restorative posture is going to be much better for us. Three more breaths. Last two. And one. Then inhale, walking your feet and your hands back to center. Then exhale, reach over the other side. So you can see now my hip stays down. Again, just be mindful if you've got one side that feels much stiffer than the other. It could just be occupational, could be to do with training. For instance, I can feel this side, I've been driving, I've had an 8-hour drive. This is tighter, simply because I've been right foot on the pedal of the car. Three more breaths here. And keeping that breath going. Inhaling deeply, exhale completely. And final one. Drawing those arms back down, walking your feet back in, just giving your knees a hug into your chest, maybe rocking backwards and forwards to really set off. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side, coming to sitting. Sitting up tall, try not to slouch into it. Inhale, nice big stretch. Exhale, forehead into the floor. So I hope you enjoyed that.